What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be going over 5 things that we either need in Smite or would like to see in Smite for this entire next year, going into Season 9 in 2022. These aren't really in any specific order. They're kind of just 5 things that would be pretty good to see and some really crucial changes I think the game really needs. So, if you guys like these types of videos, I did once related to Paladins as well, a really similar video, so I'll link that at the end of this video. If you guys happen to like Paladins or play Paladins, if you guys missed that as well, leave a like, subscribe, share the video, really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get right on into this. First, we got clans. Now, I know they said they were going to be bringing clans back this next year. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. They did say something that they're going to be slowly implementing more clan stuff. If you guys don't know, and if you guys have not been playing the game a long time, it's actually kind of been on the game for about 2 years, and they just recently added it back in like a small fashion to where we're actually able to actually join a clan now, but that's about all we can really do. What it used to be is like you can join a clan, and there was actually like an in-game reward shop as well. So every time you would play games with your clan or represent a clan in your game, and you would win a game, you get a certain amount of points, and you could actually use those points and actually put them towards like a reward or like certain recolors or stuff in like a little shop. And they took it away because I guess it was really buggy or something, and now they're slowly bringing it back. I think they need to really improve on the clan concept because it's something that's really, really unique to the game and can bring a lot of cool stuff to the game. At least like one idea I have is like, why don't we get like a leaderboard for clans? Why don't we make it so that I know clans have, I think they have up to what, 100, 200 people, whatever, but like, why don't we make like a clan leaderboard? So if you have a specific clan, like make a leaderboard and make it so you can actually face off against other clans and like battle other clans like a best of 3 game or something. So you like in 5v5 conquest games, and then every time you win on a best out of 3, you'll go up on the leaderboard, and you'll rise on the leaderboard or fall on the leaderboard or something like that, and make it like the top 100 clans in like a certain region or whatever. Put them on the leaderboard and make it so you can actually choose and like request to challenge certain clans to like knock them off the leaderboard or stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. That's just one idea I have. Like bring back the shop is an obvious one because that's still not even in the game. I think the shop for the clans was really cool, and it was a really cool concept, being able to get like the Shadow clan recolors for like ESET, and I think On Her had a skin like that. There was a few other ones that had like Shadow recolors that you were only able to get through your clan system. That looked really cool. Make it have like exclusive skins, stuff like that, and implement on that and keep building on that. That was really cool to originally have. I don't know why they got rid of it. Like I said, I think they said it was because of bugs, or it was just unstable to keep and kind of ruining the game. I don't know why, but something like that. If you guys know anything else like that, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys have any other ideas you think that would be cool to introduce into like the clans tab and like the clans concept for the game, I overall think it's just really cool, and I think they should really bring it back in a heavy fashion for this next year and for Season 9. Up next, we got constant map updates, whether it's visual updates or actual like map updates, changing like the entire map or certain parts of the map. Similar to what you guys probably seen this year with Season 8, I think every 2 or 3 months, the Conquest map actually got some visual updates and some like small things on the map that actually changed. I know we got the green buff, we got the Draugr, and a few other like small changes once in a while, like every couple months, and mainly just visual changes, but it made the map look so much fresher and so much cooler. Like currently when I'm recording this, we have like a snow themed like conquest map, which looks absolutely great. We had one that looked like a kind of more of a darker setting with like a storm overhead and like on the top of the map and stuff, with a lot of like lightning and stuff. And then we had one where everything looks kind of broken and decrepit. And then this next update, going live in a couple weeks, we're gonna have a bunch of other stuff. Like the visuals for the Conquest map are gonna be getting changed for the Smite World Championships. You're gonna have like trophies and like logos and stuff on the map and stuff. So just more of that type of stuff, but for like other game modes as well. Do that for Joust, do that for Clash, do that for any other game modes. Like that would be just really cool. And also bringing back like new game modes as well. Like I know we're going to be getting Slash Slash is confirmed. Like, that's a new game mode. But keep giving us new game modes in the future. I know they want to take their time and make sure they're good because Siege was, I guess, a failure, at least from what they said when they initially released it, because they released it so fast. Didn't really think it through. But we're going to be getting a new game mode. Hopefully we just keep getting more, mainly like visual and like map updates, which would be fine enough, and eventually even more game modes. So let me know what game mode you guys would like to see in the comments down below. I don't know. I'm looking forward to Slash. I can't wait to play that this next year. That should be coming out, I think, the second patch, the first or second patch of Season 9. So can't wait to see that and actually get my hands on that and play that. That'd be really cool. Next, I got ranked improvements / like an entire ranked overhaul for Smite. Like, I think Smite's ranked right now. Like, I feel like it's just mainly the format is for higher tier players, and it doesn't really do much for your just average or your casual, more average, above average player, if you guys know what I mean. I feel like it's mainly one of those ranked formats that kind of benefits the upper tier type players. That's why they're always adjusting around the higher tiers of ranked, whether it's soft resets or stuff like that recently. I think they just need to look at ranked and take a really good look at ranked and fix some stuff with ranked. Whether that is an entire overhaul and they switch to an entirely new format, I don't know. I really don't. Like, there's a bunch of other stuff too, like MMR. Like, why do we still lose MMR if we get disconnected during our ranked matches? Does that really make sense? I don't know how much MMR I've gone down and I've lost over this past like month or two. I was legit at the start of November, at least when I'm recording. At the start of November, I was almost gold 5. I was hovering around gold 5, and about the span of a month, with how bad the servers have been and how unplayable the game has been, which is an entirely different issue which we'll talk about probably later in this video, with how bad the game has been. Like, you can't even load into a ranked match, and then every time you can play a game, it minus you 50 to 100 MMR. So I've went from pretty much almost being gold 5, almost back down to bronze in the span of about a month just because of this. That needs to go. If anything they need to do with ranked, they need to get rid of the MMR loss if you get disconnected from ranked. Like, I know it's supposed to prevent throwers and people that just intentionally go AFK, but when the servers and shit are so bad, and the games, especially around patch times, when the servers and stuff are really unstable, you need to get rid of that. They need to get rid of the MMR loss on getting disconnected and not being able to play the game because the game doesn't let you play, or the servers are just god awful. That has to go. Give us more bans. Like, we have what, 5? Like, there's what, 130? Like, there's some crazy amount of gods in the game. I've lost track at this point. There's at least 100 gods in the game. Like, just to put it simply, there's at least 100 gods in the game. Why do we only have 5 bans? Can we at least get like 20 bans, please? 20 bans per side, I think, would be really good, or at least like 15, something like that. Like 10 bans total and 5 on each side, or 5 or 6 or whatever it is right now. It's just not enough. There's too many gods in the game, and with how bad the balancing has been this entire year, which is an entirely another topic, which I'll probably be talking about in the rest of this video, with how bad the balancing has been, it just makes it a really pain in the ass to play ranked. Give us some more bans with how many gods there are in the game. It's just a no-brainer. I know they recently reworked ranked to where everybody can actually ban one god now on your team, instead of just your top pick person picking and banning the entire cast of gods for the current match. I mean, that made it better, but like at the same time, that just causes people to troll. I don't know how many times I've had people just like ban troll gods that are just garbage, or legit just like picks that are just trolls. Like, there's no reason to even ban them at all, just because they're allowed to actually ban stuff now. Everybody on your team's allowed to ban, so now you get more people that just ban troll gods and just ban shit just because they can, just over like the broken stuff, and then you have the enemy team getting something that's really broken and the game being done pretty much before you load in. So I don't know. I just think ranked's right. They need to take a really solid look at ranked, especially with the matchmaking. The matchmaking is god awful. Like, why am I almost gold tier and I'm still being paired with bronze players half the time? I don't know. Like, I'll be mid-silver, and then I'll be going against, like, platinum players. How does that make sense? Why am I going against platinum players and majority of platinums when I'm in silver? Or why am I going against a duo up to like a 3 or a 4 stack? Like around that sometimes when I'm legit a solo queue player with an entire team that's full of solo queue players. Why are we being paired against a duo up to a 4 stack sometimes? I don't know. Look at the matchmaking, look at all that type of stuff. I think that's one thing they need to really improve on. That's just some of the stuff. You guys probably know more. If I did not cover anything, let me know in the comments down below. But overall, just improve ranked and overhaul ranked and take a really in-depth look at ranked for this next season because it's pretty damn bad right now. Up next, I quickly alluded to it during this last topic for the video, and that's improving the servers and fixing the bugs and improving the game overall. Meaning, fixing the servers, like I don't know how many times, you guys probably know, especially around patch days. Usually, at least for the last couple major patches, it hasn't been too bad, but towards the start of Season 8, gosh, was it, the servers just got awful. For the first entire 3 days, I think, of the Season 8 update, I think the game was pretty much unplayable with how bad the servers were. You couldn't even log into the game, let alone even play a match without getting disconnected 20 times. I don't know. Like, I don't know how many times, like, the game, at least for this last month, it's been pretty much unplayable. I play on the Nintendo Switch. Some of you guys, I know a lot of people play on console, and a lot of people still play on PC, but I play on Switch. The game, at least for the Switch players, has been pretty much unfucking playable for, like, the last month and a half. Like, I'll get errors where I'm loading into the game. It'll lag me out. I'll sit on the player select screen, and, like, when you're loading into the match, it shows all the players. You'll sit there for about 3 minutes, and then it'll disconnect you, throw you back to the lobby screen, say player disconnected, and then you'll have to relaunch the game, and it will not let you back into the match until the match is done, and then it'll give you a 4 to 12 hour deserter penalty every single goddamn time. That needs to go. The constant switch crashing. I don't know how many times the game crashes. I had a game yesterday, actually, that I crashed 4 times in one match. And that was even with me resetting and relaunching the game after every single match I did yesterday. And it still happened 4 times in one match. Like, just fix the problems with the game. There's a ton of bugs, too. Like, there's still a lot of bugs. It's not as buggy as, like, a Rogue Company or, like, a Paladins, but, like, there's still a lot of bugs with the game. I don't know. Like, they just need to go in and actually fix the servers and improve the actual game itself. Get down to the root of the issues. Start giving a shit about the Switch players because that's the main thing. Switch players, I think, are the ones that are most overlooked. I feel like Hi-Risk and Smite just doesn't give a shit about any of the Switch players. I don't know how many times I've complained and tried to get somebody to at least take a look at the Switch crashing problems and like the lag out disconnection problems, and nobody pays attention, never get a response. It seems like it just goes right over their head and they just never look at it and they just don't care. So, especially the Olympians, I don't think they care about Switch players either. Even the Switch Olympian rep, he doesn't care either, I don't think. Let alone probably even play as the game. He probably doesn't even play the game. So, I don't know. That's just kind of what it is. I don't know. You guys probably know what it was. Like, you guys probably have the same problems. I know you guys probably don't have it as bad as Switch players. I think Switch is probably the worst. Probably the worst, like, console to play the game on. And no, it is not the console itself. I don't know how many people are probably going to say it, but, oh, the reason why the game crashes so much is because the Switch itself is a bad console. Then why can't I play Apex Legends? Why can't I play Fortnite? Why can't I play all these other games with way better graphics, way more going on, and they have no issues at all? But when I play Smite, that has a way lower engine and way worse graphics than a lot of these other Switch games that are even ports, Rocket League, like, what else? Bunch of other shit that free-to-play games. They have no crashing issues, they have no disconnection issues, but when we play Smite and, like, Paladins and Rogue Company and stuff like that, like all the high-risk games, it has to be the game. It's not the Switch. That's just an excuse. I don't know how many people still believe that, but it's still an excuse. They just don't want to fix the game. They don't know how. Just like Paladins. There you go. And that, last but not least, we got balance and item/god balance, because this year This entire year for Season 8, I think this is probably one of the worst years we've had for, I think, God balance and, like, item balance. I'm not really going to be talking about item balance because overall, like, I'm not going to complain about it too much. It's mainly the God balance. The item balance, they made a lot of questionable decisions this past year, like, especially with, like, a lot of the jungle items. I think that's the one that's the most questionable. Junglers right now, if you guys are playing the game right now, are probably one of the best roles in the game, just because they buffed like 90% of the jungle items, and then now they're trying to buff all the other roles when they don't need to be buffed. They need to revert all the buffs they gave to the jungle items. That's like the main example from this year. But overall, like, the items have been okay, least balance wise this year. I'm not going to complain too much. Like, there are some items that you just never see built. There are like at least one or two dozen items in the game that you just never see built or never see in your games at all, or just fucking worthless. Which are it's pretty much the same thing in almost every game. There's always going to be some that are garbage and some that are never built, which I can't really shit on them for that. You can't balance every single item in the game perfectly, especially when you have so many gods and you have so many items in the game. But like, god balance is what is like the main thing here. God balance and stuff like that. Like, on screen, I'll probably be going through like lists of gods that have been either just absolute god awful and you have not seen play it at all, probably for at least the last year and a half at this point. And then I'll have some gods that are either failed reworks or gods that are just absolutely fucking busted and just never get nerfed to the point where they're actually balanced. They're always good. They're always frustrating to go against, and they're always either banned, and you see them in like 99.9% of your games, in almost every single one of your games, because they just never get balanced properly, and they just don't know how to balance them properly. So I'll be running through some of those gods on screen right now if you guys want to look. I'm not going to talk about them right now, but I don't know, like, a lot of the reworks too. Like, we had a lot of reworks this year. We had a Bastet rework. We had a Persephone rework. Bastet got reworked 2 times. Her first rework was an entire failure, and they just reworked her this last patch, and then she went from being the worst god in the game, probably one of the worst assassins in the game, to being probably one of the best gods in the game, where you see her in almost like all your games. Almost every single game has a Bastet, and she's probably one of the most broken characters in the game right now, and she's absolutely fucking busted and an absolute frustrating mess to play against. I hate playing against Bastet. She's actually one of my new hated gods. I hate Bastet now with a passion, with just her being reworked, because they just don't know how to balance her. And I'm not talking about the patch in December. We're going to leave that one out. I know there are some buffs that are going to be coming through for gods that haven't really had a buff in forever, even sometimes even years. I know Jing Wei is going to be getting a slight buff this next patch, but I'm going to be leaving that out because that patch is not out right now when I'm recording this. That's going to be out in like 3 weeks. So there are a bunch of gods that haven't either got that need reworks or just haven't got buffed. I actually don't even think we should be doing reworks anymore. Do not rework any other gods, because every time the last 2 or 3 times they've tried to rework a god, look at Freya. Freya's been reworked I don't know how many times now, and every single time it's been a failure. She's either absolutely broken or she's just garbage tier and god awful. And then you have Persephone, which was one of my favorite gods in the entire game. After they reworked her, she became one of my least played and one of my unfavorite gods in the entire game, at least for mages. She went from being probably one of my most played mages alongside Anubis and like Sol and a few others, Chang'e, like, what else? There's a few other ones. Merlin, I played a lot of. Hades, stuff like that. Being one of my top 5 like played mages, to being probably one of the ones I least play the most now, just because I just hate how she feels. She's not fun anymore. They completely ruined the god with a rework, just so it was dumbed down for the casual players and your average players, and it was easier for them to use and not as much of a threat in pro play. And I think that's what it really stems down to with what they need to look at for this next year. Balance the gods by pick rate first and then win rate. And quit taking pro play into consideration. If you really want to balance pro play, make the pro players play on their own separate balance patch. Doesn't that make sense? Why does the rest of the game have to play on the pro players' balance changes? Just because, like, a perfect example of this is Yamoja. Look at Yamoja. I think this entire year, I think she's gotten nerfed almost every single patch this year. I think we've had I forgot how many patches we've had this year, but like almost every single patch she's gotten some type of nerf, whether it's one of the items she corely builds or if it's actually her herself being nerfed into the ground. She's one of the worst gods in the game for your typical to average casual player to pick up, or you're like at least even above average player, and just because she's good in pro play and good in a pro's hands. Perfect example. Quit balancing the game around pro play and balance the game based off of pick rate, and then win rate. I don't know if that's how they do it right now. I think what they do right now is they balance the game off of purely pro play, and then they go to win rate. I think that's what it is right now. I'm not 100% sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comments down below. But like I don't know how many gods. Like I see so many gods that is the same thing. You see them almost every single game. They just never get nerfed. Gilgamesh, Bastet. There's so many gods that you just see every single game, and they just never get nerfed. They just never do. I don't know. Just because they have a high pick rate, but like their win rate may not be high because they're not used in pro play and they're not used in the SPL. So that justifies them not being needed to be nerfed just because they're not going to be viable in pro play. I don't get it. Hun Bats is another one. Tsukiyomi, like 90% of the junglers right now in the game are fucking busted. Thanatos. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff right now that's just broken. I feel like they're just really lacking on the balance. And hopefully with this next year we get some better balance changes. Or they just go break it down and actually rework how they actually balance the game. Balance the items and balance the gods. Because I think the entirety of Season 8, the balance has just been god-awful. It's been really bad. And we should not be getting any more reworks in the near future because all the last 3 reworks we've had for Freya, for Bastet, and for Persephone have all been failures, at least in my opinion. I don't know what the data says. Maybe they have a higher pick rate on release after they got reworked, but definitely not after like a month after they got reworked. Maybe initially after they got put into the game, into the live patch, after the rework, they had a spike in play because everybody was trying them out. But I can tell you right now that it's probably a steep decline. They're probably just right where they are before they even got reworked, so they just didn't even pay to rework them. I guess apart from Bastet, the only reason people play her is because she's just fucking broken. Not because people want to play her, just because she's just so broken to the point where you kind of have to play her, and if you want to win your games, you pick her. Otherwise, the enemy team picks her, or she gets banned. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Apart from that, I don't really have much more to go over. That was just kind of 5 things. Not really any specific order, just kind of 5 things that the game kind of needs to improve on, or some changes we would like to see for this next Season 9 or going into 2022. If you guys enjoy these types of videos and you guys want me to do more, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing the video. It really helped me out. I did one of these types of videos for Paladins a couple months back. I'll link that at the end of the video, so you guys want to check that out. A lot of stuff planned going into this next season of Smite. We got a new Smite season 9. Got a new Paladins patch coming up in about a couple weeks probably, so guys do not want to miss out on everything. I also do go live and I do stream the game. I stream Smite, I stream Apex Legends, I stream Paladins, usually 4 to 5 days a week. So if you guys do not want to miss that, subscribe and turn on your notifications. With that being said, though, I'm going to get out of here. See you guys. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching the video.